Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 90+2 podcast. I'm Xander.
And I'm Jamie.
And today we are joined by Argyle's #1 goalkeeper, fresh off the back of an outstanding victory and clean sheet against league leaders Leicester, Michael Cooper.
All right, lads, thanks for having me.
Welcome, what an intro.
Yeah, no, I'll take that.
We've got to mention that straight away then. Leicester, insane game.
It was a bit backs against the wall at times, but going into it, we were thinking if we could, seeing them off the back of Millwall, beating them at home, if we could go into that and maybe steal a point, maybe 3 points, it would really help our cause, trying to stay up. And yeah, we played as one, played as a unit, and it couldn't have gone any better, really.
Yeah. So you were there.
Yeah.
You said it was the best atmosphere
I think it was definitely had to be the best atmosphere of the season.
Yeah, I think for quite a while as well, because obviously there's what we get at Home Park is quite special nights, isn't there?
Yeah.
And that's definitely one of them. That's up there. We're like, I remember Pompey away a few years ago when it was like bouncing. City last year when we beat them 4-2.
Oh, yeah.
Those sort of nights, it was definitely one of them.
Amazing.
So good.
It's really annoying because I work for the basketball team as well. I actually missed it on Friday, and it's like
as a season ticket holder as well.
as a season ticket holder in the Devonport as well. And then it's like one of the only games I missed this season, but. To be honest, I feel like if I was there, we probably would have lost. No, my luck. So obviously we started with Leicester, but we'll move all the way back now to your early life.
Yeah.
What's your earliest memories of football and Argyle?
Football, I remember just kicking the ball about in my garden when it was like 04 Euros.
Yeah.
I remember like Coca-Cola had all the packaging with like footballs and stuff for the tournament. And then from there, just kicking the ball about with my dad all the time. I have two sisters, so they'd kick it about like if I needed them, but it was mostly my dad. Playing other sports as well, and then just sort of joining your local team at 8-9 years old, or maybe 7. And then Argyle quickly came onto the scene when I was 8 or 9. And then just from there, it just kept going, and I'm just here where I am now. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. You said about playing other sports as well. I understand you were quite keen on cricket when you were younger as well.
Yeah, really. It got really serious as well. I still follow it. Still love watching cricket. Used to play a bit of rugby at school. Play hockey. Played squash. Played all sorts. And my old goalie coach, Reece Wilmot, he was quite encouraging me doing other sports because I think when he was younger, he went through the same freedom that I had, being able to play other sports. Because I think it helps just with your mind as a kid. You don't want to be too monotonous doing the same sport, do you? You don't want to get too bored of it at a young age. And I think that definitely helped growing up, just playing all those different sports.
Well, cricket is also to do with like coordination and handling,
fielding,
everything. Yeah, exactly.
Diving after the ball, it's all the same.
So when did you realise you were going to become a goalkeeper then?
Straight away.
Yeah,
purely because I wasn't very good at outfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I still remember the training session. It was at West Hill Wasps, the local team, and no one was in goal. And he was like, "Lads, does anyone want to go in goal?" Just stuck my hand up randomly.
Yeah.
I remember just going in, like never been in goal before. At school, you'd always want to score goals and play outfield. And I just remember being alright, like just diving around, keeping the ball out. And then from there, no one else wanted to do it, so just kept putting me in.
Yeah.
He used to give me like half and half because obviously I'd want to play outfield as well, like everyone else does. But quickly, my dad was like, "Just stay in that because you're a bit better there." So I took it on the chin, stayed in, and it's worked out all right.
I guess genetically it's helped you. How tall are you then?
Well, I'm 6'2", so like on a good day, but like, I'd say I'm tall, but when you come up in the pro ranks in football, like everyone's massive.
Yeah.
So I'm considered like a smaller goalie. But I think I'm used to it, and I've managed to make it work for me.
Yeah. How tall's Connor? Do you know?
Is he like Connor's 6'7", I think.
6'7" with his shoes on. He is a tall bloke. He's a tall guy. Yeah.
That's why I'm 5'10". You're
5'8".
Yeah.
He's a tall guy.
Bloody hell. Yeah. Towering over us.
Yeah.
So you said you'd learn about the early career in Leicester.
Yeah. Your parents are from Leicester, so how was the game against? Obviously, both games against Leicester would have been quite close to your family. Yeah,
the first one was really weird because I've probably been. I was talking to my dad about it. It's probably been to the King Power like 8 or 9 times, just going to watch. So then facing up against Leicester in the kit and at the King Power, and like you got Vardy there and all sorts. It was pretty mad. But obviously I compartmentalised it, put it away, and just tried focusing on the performance.
Yeah.
Didn't happen that night. But I think that helped me coming into the game last week where I'd gotten over the fact that I was playing Leicester now, and it was more just going out and getting 3 points, regardless of who we were playing, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, is that for early career? Did you have anything more to touch on?
I think so. I think looking now to probably one of the maybe not the highlights for you, but like the highlight of the academy days, the Youth Cup run in 2018.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was mad. Yeah, that was better than the Milk Cup one we had as well, because we went to the Milk Cup, did well, but yeah, that Youth Cup run started well against Eastleigh, won 7-2.
Yeah, we've got the run here, 2017.
Against Wimbledon.
I chucked one in as well, actually. Went 1-0 down. One went straight through my hands, I still remember it.
So actually, you still remember that now?
Yeah.
Still haunt you at night, these errors.
Does it. Went 2-2, Claddy scored last minute.
Yeah.
I didn't think we knew we were playing Man City next. I just think we're just buzzing to get through.
Yeah.
Got Man City. And I actually remember being in the tunnel, and like, me and the centre-backs were looking at each other thinking, if we keep this under 5, we've done well. Because like, they had a ridiculous team, like some of the players there was outrageous. Went and like, just kept a clean sheet. Banks had literally 4-4-2, like not even 2 strikers, just like...
proper football.
It was backs against the wall. Got them to pens, won on pens, it was mental.
So what was it like that moment when you found out that you had City? Because obviously City are quite a big team now.
Yeah, we were obviously buzzing, but we were a bit like, oh Christ, this could
one of those, isn't it? Yeah.
This could go one or two ways, but I think it was more excitement as the build-up got on, and I think the fact we were at home helped, because obviously we played at home park.
Yeah.
If we were away, I don't think we'd have played at the Etihad. We would have been in maybe the training ground or
just next door.
The next stadium, So I think being at home helps, because I don't think they want to be there.
And of course, the fact it ends on pens, that's the goalkeeper's time to shine, of course.
Yeah, I managed to save one, so I contributed a little bit. And yeah, I think that most importantly, the lads held their nerve as well. I think only one pen got saved, and everyone else just put them away. And then next round Burnley. Yeah. Kept another clean sheet and won 1-0 right at the death. Billy Krask. And then next one was Fulham, but we took them to extra time, and we just ran out of legs. They just ran all over us.
What did you think at the time as well? So that was 2017, so Argyle were what, League One then, probably? Coming up against all of these Premier League opposition academies, like higher tier. Like, it's just an incredible achievement, no matter where you went, really.
And that was coming up off the back of League Two, was it?
Yeah,
was
exactly.
It straight on? So to just be a pretty humble Cat 3 youth team to coming up against all these Premier League sides, it was pretty. It was a good test for us.
Yeah, and playing with all your mates as well. Obviously, we've got a few names here who've come through the academy who we've heard of, obviously, like Fletcher, Alex Battle, Ryan Law, Jeff Cott, Randall, of course, who's still with the club now. How was it like playing football with your mates every week and going on this amazing run? Yeah,
it was unreal. We were a really tight-knit group, those first years and second years. Quite a lot of us lived together. And we were just such a tight-knit group, so having that success together made it even better. Just, when you're with your mates celebrating, it does make it 10 times better.
I think that was a good time as well for the Argyle Academy, seeing all these players coming through. We've seen so many of them playing so many games for the first team as well. And then obviously we've got to touch on now your debut, of course, away at Blackburn. What do you remember of that day?
Well, I'll start with the pre-match walk, right? So it was only like my second away game on the bench or something like that, or like my fourth game on the bench in total. I hadn't been on that much because of injuries. To the goalies, like, that's what I was on.
Yeah, I remember that season.
It was great. That was the one where we had like...
Were you like the fifth different keeper?
I think so, yeah. There was 7 total match day goalies.
Matthews, obviously you.
Lukey.
Yeah, Lukey, of course.
Max Charles made the bench.
Yeah.
Roos.
Yeah, Keller Roos.
Kyle.
Yeah, Leathering.
It's exactly, that's 7 already. So
I still, because that was the first season we come up as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Straight off the back of League Two. And then we ended up finishing 7th.
Yeah, it was
crazy. Sorry, back to your debut.
On that pre-match walk, Cam Sankster was on the bench as well.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I've got a feeling you're going to come on tonight. And I'm thinking, why would you say that? Like, it's so stupid. Didn't think anything of it. And then I remember warming up as normal. I had to warm up Kyle because we didn't travel with the goalie coach.
Yeah.
Warming up as normal. First half was all right. Graham Carey, bang, left foot, top corner. So I was celebrating right on the bench like that. Yeah. Someone touched my shoulder. I go, Kyle's down there on the floor, literally like holding his whatever. I think it was his quad because his quad went.
Yeah.
Holding that, and I've gone, oh shit. Like, oh no, I'm gonna have to.
I'm coming on.
I'm like, what? I don't know what to do. And then Watsy turns around, he's like, get warm, like that, like just shout, like typical Watsy, just shouting. I was like, oh my God, right. So I was getting warm, and there was only 5 minutes to go till half time, and we were 1-0 up. So I'm getting warm. I come back ready to strip off, but Derek Adams was like, no, we're going to wait till half time, see if he's all right. He was struggling real bad. Like he was limp. Like you can see from the goal, he was limp. He was real struggling because his quad fully blew off. And then I went in at half time, and they were just like, yeah, you're on. And I was like, I just was not ready. I was honestly, it was mental. Like actually getting my kit on, first team kit coming out. He would
that pink shirt.
Yeah, that shirt. In front of a crowd, like a big crowd as well. So I never
massive ground, isn't it?
Yeah, Ewood Park.
Never played in front of a crowd before, like a big one. And then I remember just being on the touchline waiting to go on, because obviously you've got to wait till everyone else is on. And my knees were going, so I was so nervous.
Yeah, as you'd imagine.
And I was like so wide-eyed, running onto the pitch. Whistle went, but then as soon as I got my first touch on the ball, I just went. I was
really?
fine. Yeah, I was absolutely fine. All the pros were just helping me out, just talking to me, making it easy for me. So managed to play out the second half and not concede, which I was buzzing with at the time.
Yeah, I remember reading the articles that evening where it's like superstar in the making.
It blew a bit out of proportion with that. But to come on in that way, it's pretty mad. And then I've done it twice as well. My first 2 appearances were coming off the bench for injuries, which is not very common. So it's 2 weird ways to get your first couple of appearances.
Because literally as well, like we said, with the way that season played out, with there being like 7 different keepers, you must have never imagined at the start of the year that that's how it was going to begin. No,
literally. I was just going into my second year apprenticeship thinking I'll just play all my youth games, play all the cup games, and train with the first team when I could and see where it took me. Yeah. Next thing you know, I was on the bench first at Scunthorpe at home. Yeah. And then I think training that week, Luke got injured, so then I was at Wigan away, and I was starting to tot up games on the bench, getting a bit of exposure to what a crowd feels like, what first team match day feels like, because it's so different. And then just to come on like that was just icing on the cake, really, just mental.
What's it like as when you're sort of a young keeper coming into the team? Because obviously when younger players come into the team, there is always a chance they can get on the pitch as a substitute, but as a keeper, it's usually just the one keeper playing on a match day. So what's that like?
I think I just understood my role as a youngster. Just you're there to train really hard with the goalies, and then most of the time when they would go in with the outfielders, whether it be for crossing and finishing games, you sort of wait on the wings. Maybe you get a call to go do some shooting, or maybe one of the goalies is tired from a game, so you get to go in. So it's more supporting the senior goalies. But then when you go in, you just got to do as best as you can and try and leave an impression on the manager. Yeah.
And I guess, like we said, you've had so many amazing role models at Argyle in terms of goalkeepers. Yeah. Who would you say is the number one in the time you were there?
I mean, it's got to be Luke, hasn't it? Growing up, watching him from the stands plenty of times, he was unbelievable. And I remember my first training session with him, I think I was 15. I think it was school holidays. Yeah. And he was just top notch for me, just made me feel like one of the goalies at the time. Kyle Levin was unbelievable with me. Yeah. Whenever he was playing, he was unbelievable. He was a real top guy. Remy as well, Remy Matthews. Still speak to him now. He was unreal when he came in.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a real good goalie. And he just sort of, they didn't treat me like a youth teamer. They didn't treat me like I was 17, 18. They treated me like I was one of the goalkeeping department group, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I'm assuming that really helped you then coming up through.
Just made me feel more comfortable, just a bit more at ease.
Yeah. Next up, we've got League Two, the relegation that year. Obviously, how much do you remember from that?
Yeah, I wasn't involved a lot that year. Yeah. Brought in Matt Macy on loan. Kyle was on the bench quite a lot. And I was. It was probably the worst year in my career, to be fair, by quite a while. I was just playing 21 stuff, playing Southwest Peninsula football. Yeah. Didn't really feel like I was getting anywhere. Couldn't go on loan. Did
you feel nervous that could be the breaking point?
A little bit, yeah. Because Derek Adams was obviously still there. I didn't know really too much what he thought of me that year. I didn't know whether he was, going to end up maybe making me leave or whatever. But it was just had to keep grinding away, keep training hard, keep playing all those games that I didn't want to play, but still had to play them.
Yeah.
Just bided my time. Learned a lot about myself, physically, mentally. And yeah, came on last game of the season when we needed a win. Managed to get the win, but goals difference didn't help us out. And I think going back down probably made us the club we are today, because that's when Simon.
What they always say, isn't it? It's a step backwards for two steps forwards type thing. And then of course that season, the backup for Alex Palmer, of course. Yeah,
Lowy, Shuey came in, just completely turned the club on its head. Absolutely, just brought a whole new side to football that I'd never seen. Just youth enthusiasm, just one-to-one talking with your players. Man management, everything. The whole environment was unbelievable. And Palms came in. I think he was the age I am now when he came in. And again, he was a real top guy. Obviously, I completely understood my role as a 2. I was only 19, whatever I was, so I didn't expect to play. And having him there, I learnt a lot off him as well. And it was a successful season. Managed to go up on points per game through COVID. That was again just another year's experience in the bank. Just learning from everyone.
How was that being promoted when you haven't even won a game to get there in the end? Did the team all come together? Were you still training together?
No, so it was March. It was early March, and we were on our way to Morecambe, and we were halfway, and we got told, this was when it was all breaking out, the COVID. Yeah. We got told we just got to go back. The game's on this weekend. Kept rolling over, and then it was lockdown. Yeah. So everyone was home. I think it was after about 2 or 3 months they decided that the seasons were going to be done. It was done on points per game. So then we knew we was up, but obviously everyone was at home. I think a week later they got everyone back to the club. There was social distancing and all that, so it was a bit weird, but we managed.
I remember you saying that now. There's the clip. There was the clip of Lowy just in the empty stadium, with the champagne on his own.
It was so weird, those times.
Mad time, yeah. And then obviously that brings us nicely onto your breakthrough season in a massive empty home park. That must have been the craziest time.
Yeah, I think for the first few games it probably helped me, because obviously you haven't got the crowd. But from then on, after about 2-3 games, I felt comfortable, and I was just hating obviously loved playing football. But just hated the fact the crowd wasn't there. It just felt so weird, because obviously I had spent quite a long time on the bench, so I had that crowd exposure. So to then all of a sudden be playing without a crowd, it was so weird.
And then there was the few games where there was 1,000 fans let in. And
I know, squad wasn't the best either. We did struggle quite a bit that year. I think my first season I conceded 80 goals, so
it was a difficult year. I remember there was obviously the tough. There was a couple of 6-0s at home and stuff.
Charlton 6-0.
There was a Wigan one of
4-0. Rochdale was 4-0.
There was a Fleetwood one as well away.
Yeah.
Fleetwood away was 5-1.
When they played Captain Pugwash 5 times, I remember that day.
Yeah,
that was horrendous.
I hate that. I'm literally mentally scarred from that day.
Yeah, same here. I was only watching it at home. Can't even imagine what it was like in the ground. So just get through that season. I guess that was always the goal.
Pretty much, just stay up.
You were starting every game then.
Yeah. Obviously, very grateful for Lowy, because as soon as we came back in, I remember the first day he was like, "Are you going to be my goalkeeper this season?" I was just like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, you are." Gave me the number 1 as well in pre-season. Yeah. He actually gave me the number 1 in the League 2 season.
Oh really?
When I was on the bench. Which half made me think, he clearly rates me enough to give me a number 1. I've always wanted the Plymouth Argyle number 1, so to have that at 19 was pretty mad.
Yeah.
But for him to
that's mad.
And for him to manage to, he just basically told me I was going to play the season, and I was just like, wow. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Such a proud moment for your family, must have been.
Yeah, I mean, to finally feel like somewhat of a professional footballer, stringing a few games together. Really helped mentally.
I was just going to quickly say, when was it you signed your first professional contract?
It was 2018, March 2018, I think it was.
So after you'd made your debut already?
Yeah. It was after the youth cup run they offered it, which is weird, because normally, the apprentices, you'll find out on one day at the end of the season, but they gave it to me quite early, so yeah, I just was not expecting it, and I was completely over the moon. Yeah, it was mad.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, when like you obviously finally get your opportunity to play in the first team, was it difficult, the fact that there was sort of no fans there? You kind of touched on it, but how difficult was it? Because I know people go on about how, or I've heard managers and players say how difficult that season was.
Yeah, I think because we had quite a few loan players, quite a few new signings, and they couldn't really understand what Argyle was about, which is the fans, which, you know, the 12th man. So I think it was difficult for them to, you know, find that bit of a love for the club, a reason to want to play for them. Really wasn't that desire there that season. Obviously that is because of the crowd, like, not being there. I 100% feel that. And then you can see since then we've just gone up and up and up. And again, that's just testament to the fans week in, week out.
I will touch on one amazing result that season, the Lincoln game at home, where we won 4-3. That is a game I wish I was at. Yeah. Joey in the last minute, wasn't it? Yeah. That must have been a crazy game to play, because it's so, like, lockdown football is just mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a game like that where it's so end to end, how is that for a goalkeeper when you're just seeing your team at the other end trying to claw it back?
Yeah, it was. We had a little, like, weird rivalry with them that season. Even though we were, like, nowhere near the table with them, we just had a little grudge thing against them. Lost 2-0 up there. Then we played in the FA Cup, 1-0.
Yeah. It was Reeves, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then, at home we won 4-3. They had 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Just managed to nick it, Joe, last minute. It was like a volley, wasn't it? Left foot volley?
Yeah.
Or right foot, I can't
unbelievable.
remember.
And they're just playing out, like, blaring out the music.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Eerie,
like,
really.
That should be limbs and just, like, bodies everywhere, but for no one to be in there to see it was
or you could just hear us all, like, the coaching staff just going mental instead.
Rubbish, yeah.
And that season as well, in the Carabao Cup, beating QPR.
Yeah.
That must be quite a good result.
That was like the first game of the season as well. That was crazy.
Second game we conceded in the first minute.
Yeah.
Joe scored in that one as well.
Yeah, it was
Frank Reblay as well.
Yeah, Joe, Frank. Right? Did he score, or was it Jeff's?
It was probably Jeff's had a great season.
Danny Mayer scored one of his only, like, 5 goals.
Charlie, yeah. I remember as well, we had a couple of other, like, the 2-2s against Portsmouth. Obviously, that's become synonymous now.
I think we drew 2-2 with them 4 times in a row or something like that. Yeah, it was stupid. And we kept conceding late. Yeah, that was ridiculous, but we managed to beat them. Beat them last year.
Anyway, we can move on now to the, like, bringing back. So there was the game at home, it was against Gillingham, wasn't it? Just after the Plymouth Together thing. How was that finally with all the fans? You making your, like, reappearance with everybody behind you again?
It was unreal. Even going up to Rotherham for that first game of the season away, even just having their fans, as well as obviously our fans, but just being able to play in front of that stadium again just made you realise why you play football. Yeah. Because playing without them, it was just so mundane.
Football's for the fans, isn't it?
Football is,
it is. So to come back to home park and get a 1-0 for him that day was it was really good, especially after it being not long after what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It really meant a lot.
And obviously coming from the area as well, you must have felt like a real personal connection with the fans that day. Yeah,
I mean, I've been here since I was 9, so I know the club inside out. I know what the fan base is like, and I knew that game was going to mean a lot to them.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to quite a few of us who are from here. But especially that day, we were so mindset on winning that game, and thank God we did.
So that season was a transition season, wasn't it?
Of course. And then obviously the following season, as you touched on, with the fans coming back, started that very well. Really good run.
Yeah, I think we went 16 unbeaten, was it, or something, before we lost at Charlton.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a really good season.
Yeah.
I know, they're a bit of a bogey team as well. Yeah. I've lost 5-0, 6-0 to them or whatever.
Yeah, last year we lost there as well, wasn't it? When Morgan scored from the halfway line.
It was horrendous again.
Anyway, so back to the run.
back to the good things.
The good things,
Well, that year was the transition from Lowy to Shuey, wasn't it? When he left.
Yeah, it was.
How much did you guys know about that before it happened?
No, it happened really quick. Played Rochdale in the FA Cup. Yeah. And then just the next day he decided to go to Preston. I don't think any of us really held a grudge against him. It wasn't anything like that. We're in League One, with the Championship. He had a big opportunity as a young manager.
To his home, isn't it?
Close to home, so. And he's done well there since.
Yeah.
And then Shuey came in and just took it like a duck to water. Just we could always tell he had the managerial qualities in him as assistant, but for him to excel the way he did, it was unbelievable.
So you mentioned Rochdale there.
Yeah.
And then there was Birmingham, of course, in the cup.
Yeah.
And then
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Which must have been just an unbelievable day.
Oh, it was unreal. Yeah. Still to this day, I can't believe we played as well as we did.
Yeah. Macca.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know they hit the post 3 times in the first half.
Yeah.
But after that, we actually played some really good football and actually took them all the way and should have taken them to pens.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, for the fans, it was an unbelievable day out.
Yeah, it was brilliant because we had the entire shed end behind the goal.
Yeah.
And then obviously Macca's was up the opposite end, but yeah, that must have been crazy having all of them behind you.
Yeah, I remember as soon as he scored it, just turned around and just saw it.
Yeah.
Normally it's the little
green.
section, but because it's the FA Cup, we got the whole thing, and it was limbs.
What was it like when you found out, obviously, the Chelsea team and you were playing up against the likes of Lukaku, Alonso?
Yeah, we were buzzing. We were actually hoping that they weren't going to drop players because you want to play against the best team. But then, like when you're in the tunnel, it is just like, oh my god, it's so weird seeing them in person right next to you, and like. Obviously, as a boy, you just don't expect to get to that level where you're playing against world-class players. So to do that is pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, lost that day, but still, great experience.
Yeah.
And then moving on, just missing out that year on the playoffs.
Yeah, it was. Teams don't often get 80 points and not get playoffs. I think we're the only exception. I think we did it, and the team before that was 20 years ago or something like that. But yeah, the final day was the most disappointing thing. Just couldn't get going.
Scott Twine, wasn't it?
Scott Twine he just delivered the most outrageous performance I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so.
that free kick was just unstoppable, wasn't it?
Do you know what I remember before that though? Before that free kick he scored, he took one from about 30 yards away and he hit it right off did a knuckleball and he just went like that, hit the bar.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
And I just thought, oh my god.
I remember saying it to my mate then and being like, this is going to be a long day.
Literally. But yeah, managed to bounce back next season, which was obviously the main thing.
Well, yeah, that was so your first season with Argyle working there.
Yeah, I mean that was for me being there at the home games. It was like an unreal atmosphere. So I can only imagine what it was like as a player playing in that as well.
Yeah, our home record was outrageous. I think
stupid.
What was it? 20 wins.
Yeah.
A draw and two
losses.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah,
so many points at home, which is outrageous. But
and then so of course most of the season last year, and then getting over the line in the end. But then I remember seeing so there was the pictures of you when we were on the pitch invasion.
Yeah,
you had the purple goalie kit on, but of course you couldn't start the game.
Yeah,
how was that like being able to get involved with the celebrations, but even though you couldn't play in the games?
Yeah, can't lie, it was really frustrating.
Yeah,
I worked so hard. Being here for so long, and then to get injured in the way I did, and for the length of time as well, to not be able to play to get. I know I did, play quite a bit, but to not just be there on the pitch to get us over the line was frustrating. However, Cal came in and did really well, and we saw it through, won the league, 100 points. I just still can't believe we did it because it will go down in Argyle history. But yeah,
sorry, I was just going to quickly say it's annoying now because we aren't League One champions anymore because Portsmouth won it the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, but they won't do it with 101 points.
No, they can't do it now.
When you had the injury at Sheffield, did you know? Could you feel it, like how bad it was going to be, or did you not really know at the time?
I think I kept telling myself it's not as bad as what I think it is because normally my pain threshold's quite good. Yeah, but as soon as I landed, I just felt a snap and like heard a pop, and I didn't know what it was. Yeah. But like you just know, so it's not going to be good when you hear that, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Managed to walk off the pitch just purely adrenaline, thinking, might just be a little tendon or little ligament or something like that. But then got back in the change room, iced it, went to stand up, just couldn't walk. So I was just like,
Yeah, I remember that.
Was swollen up
Sheffield
as well.
That day.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
Yeah.
Because we really looked like we were going to have them that day as well.
I know. Yeah, we conceded an early goal, but then we got cooking. Like we were playing out really well. And we was having them, and then just went. But yeah, move on.
Brutal, but obviously come back this year, come back stronger, of course.
stronger, and then I did my other knee.
Yeah.
Obviously not as serious, but it was just the MCL. It was literally in training. Did a big dive, just landed on it funny, and it basically just popped in. But that was more painful straight away because I remember feeling it like you don't feel a pop, but I remember feeling sort of like just an overstretch and like the tear. So that was another 3 months in the gym, which was I think it's safe to say both these injuries have made me mentally strong because I spent a lot of time off the training ground. But yeah, right now, touch wood, I'm feeling the best I've been. So yeah.
When Argyle started the championship season, they started really well. Obviously, was it frustrating, sort of knowing that you were getting back to full fitness, but you couldn't quite be in the team yet?
Yeah, because again, like I've been here so long, worked so hard, played all the games I have, and then to get to the championship finally, which is what we wanted to do for so long, and then just to not be playing, it's just like, done all that, and
exactly.
I'm just not in the team. But for when I've been fit, I've managed to come back in the team, and I feel like I definitely think this block of games since coming back again I feel like I've played better than the last ones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So did Shuey always make it clear that you were going to still be in his plans despite bringing Connor in at the start of the season?
Yeah, obviously they needed to bring someone in.
Yeah.
Because I got injured, you can't just have Cal. Obviously you need another one. You need another goalie. He gave me an extended contract as well as soon as I got injured, which was really, really nice of him. Sorted me out, took the pressure off contract problems, just helped me focus on my knee. He just made it obvious that we're all going to be fighting for the number one shirt. Just got to be patient and get fit, get back training, and then just show him that I'm still the same me, and I know I can do.
Yeah, exactly. I think as well, because obviously last year we had was Adam in last year, or was he the
Adam
year before
Parks.
as well?
Yeah, he was last year.
Yeah,
it was number 3.
So it's always like, I guess when you're injured, your role then becomes to try and like just support the keepers who are.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just whenever Cal was playing, he just wanted to talk about anything and just talk about it. Because that's all you can do. You're not on the training pitch. You're more there for a chat. When you're not in the gym grafting away while they're on the training pitch. Yeah.
So how much gym time is it then when you're injured, as opposed to like as a usual? Because you've had the match days.
Yeah, I mean, early. I couldn't walk without crutches for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, I think, all in all. And then, my knee was still massive for ages. I remember the first day I managed to get my leg over on a bike. It was after about 2 or 3 weeks after surgery. So literally every day was just hours, morning and afternoon, just slowly incrementing the rehab, getting used to new movements, new everything. I actually had to not learn how to walk again, but get used to trying to walk normally without a limp and actually straightening my leg, because that was the hardest thing. But yeah, I'm countless hours, can't even remember how many. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. I was going to say, working under different managers then, because as a team, obviously there's the different play styles. How does it differ for the goalkeeper under different managers? Because you've worked under, must be 4 or 5 different managers at Argyle now.
Yeah, it's been 4 now. Obviously, different managers have different ways of playing, different ways of communicating. But as a player, it's just up to you as to how you adapt, and because you have to, else you're not going to be in their plans.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, what the manager says goes, and you've just got to work around that.
We've got some personal accolades to talk about, of course, as opposed to the on the pitch. So first off, you had the young player of the season during lockdown. How was that?
Yeah, that was nice. I don't think there was too much choice, to be fair. So it's a bit of a formality, but I still appreciated it anyways. Yeah.
It's like, I knew I was going to get this.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, no one else was playing, to be fair. So yeah.
Then
the Golden Glove the following year as well.
Yeah, that was nice. I wouldn't mind another one of them, to be fair.
Next year.
Yeah, I'd like to get 2, but I've got a lot of time yet.
League One Team of the Season.
Yeah.
Team of the Season card on FIFA.
Yeah.
Do you play much for FIFA, man?
I try.
Did you buy yourself that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I always play up until December, but then I'm just rubbish, so then I just get bored.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then last year, Argyle Player of the Season and making the EFL League One Team of the Season. The second year in a row.
Yeah, to do that 2 times in a row, you know, the club player of the season and team of the season, to do that 2 in a row was pretty, like, just didn't expect it one bit after getting injured as well. I know I played 2/3 of the season, but you still think someone that's played all the games will get the accolades. So to get that when I was injured did give me a little bit of a lift and gave me a bit more motivation to keep working.
Yeah, so we'll move on now about the family side of things. So obviously we mentioned how your family was up in Leicester, but now obviously based around here. And of course, you're engaged to be married as well.
Yeah,
congratulations, of course.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
So is your partner from Plymouth originally?
She's from Tor Point.
Oh, Tor Point,
just over the water.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where you were considering moving away from Argyle? Did the family ever have much of an impact on whether you would have ever moved?
No, I've never had a opportunity to. I've never really wanted to. It's always felt like the right place for me growing up. The pathway, I could always just see it. It was always made clear to me, my pathway into football. So it was never a time really where it was even a choice or an option to move away. And I'm really glad that my career and the time I've spent here has played out the way it has, because I've loved it and it's worked perfectly for me.
I know there was a time, obviously, when it was looking like if Argyle weren't getting promoted, because obviously all the good performances, of course, you could be rumoured. Did you ever look into much about the rumours? Did you ever hear much about them?
No, rumours are rumours. You can read into them what you will, but at the end of the day, if you know, I'm still here. So
there you go.
It's just like if they wanted to buy me then,
proof,
they would have bought me. So I'm still here at 24. I'm going in, done I think it's my 15th season now. So
crazy, yeah. So how does it feel? Obviously, we mentioned earlier on, we touched on some players when you see that don't make the cut. Obviously, players like Alex, obviously, well, both Alexes, Battle and Fletcher, but then seeing them and going and moving away, I guess you're just supporting them in moving away and then focusing on your own career, really.
Yeah, it's difficult because you spend a lot of time with the lads going through the age groups. You know, there's loads coming to my head right now. But when they don't get a contract or when they get moved on, it's difficult. Difficult because you want them to do so well, you want them to succeed, but the club just didn't feel like they were right for them, and that's the decision they made. And I keep in touch with them now, and they're doing unreal in life now. So yeah, they would have learned a lot.
Was there ever a point when you were coming through and it kind of got round to that time of like making a decision if you would get a pro contract or not? Did you ever think you might not make the cut, or did that never cross your mind?
I never had that mentality, but I never thought, oh yeah, I'll get a contract. I've always been a very driven person, so I never thought, oh, I'm not gonna get a deal, so there's no point. I was always just working so hard, playing the best I could, and just trying to create as many opportunities for myself as I could. And yeah, luckily throughout all the ages, I kept getting contract after contract, and since signing my first pro contract, I've never been out of contract either, which has been weird, but very appreciative of it, obviously.
And, sorry, I was going to say, was there ever a backup? What was other interests?
I think, well, to be fair, when I was 15 or 16, I had a really good cricket season. Went to South Africa for a tour played really well, got man of the tour for Devon, and then King's College Taunton had me on a trial day, and they offered me a cricket scholarship there. For those who like cricket, Josh Butler went there, and Tom Abel, all these superstars. It's big cricket in school.
Sam Lamberby as well.
Tom Lamberby, Tom Lamberby.
More than me.
So it was a bit of a decision at that time, but I think I was always pretty set on football. But backup plans, I didn't really think about that, to be honest.
Well, I guess
I think I was always pretty set on
the contracts.
I just didn't.
You never needed to.
Obviously, my mum and dad would be like, "Yeah, you know, you got to think about plan B or school and stuff." I was like, "Yeah, I'll work hard in school, but I'm not thinking about plan B. I'll just be a footballer."
Just want to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah, pretty much,
All right. Well, I feel like we can bring it right back up again and to taking over from Connor, obviously, again very recently after your injury. How was it integrating into the new team? Were you coming back in with Ian?
Yeah. It's different, and it's quite difficult coming back into the team when Connor's been in twice as well. Obviously, only one goalie can play in the position. But I just must have done enough in training just to show him that I can play.
Yeah.
But coming back second time with a new manager was difficult. Obviously, I was on the bench for a bit, which I expected as well, because he hadn't seen me play at all. But then coming back in the team, I felt like I'd done well. Results didn't go our way. Unfortunately for him, he got moved on. But since then, I feel like we've cracked on, gotten better and better, and taken 7 points from 3 games. So yeah, we're doing all right now.
I was just going to say, with obviously Nance and Neil now in charge, Nance is obviously kind of Argyle through and through.
Yeah.
Like, how much would you say he's sort of helped the team kind of get like that momentum and like just get the momentum back?
He has a massive impact on players coming in, just the staff, the fans, everything. Like, when you've got that guy who's been at the club through thick and thin, stepped up when he's needed to step up, and just absolutely loves the club. As a fan, as just a mere fan, not even just someone who works there.
Mr. Argyle.
Yeah, he is Mr. Argyle, and he fully deserves that being called it, because he really is. And when you need him, he just steps up time and time again just to lift us before Rotherham and all those. All that.
I can only imagine the type of like team talks he was doing before.
Even in training, it just makes you feel like so at ease again, and just takes the pressure off you.
Yeah.
And he lets the fans know how much we care as well, which is important too.
So how's the mentality shift? Obviously last year aiming for promotion, becoming champions, obviously looking to win every game, to now in a relegation dogfight really come towards the end of the season. How is it for you as a goalkeeper? Like, what's the mentality shift there?
It's different when you've got a squad that you know is good enough to go up in League One. Every game is about winning. Doesn't matter who, where, what time. It's all about winning. It is different when you're coming up to the Championship and your budget's nowhere near it. The squad's nowhere near some of the top teams, but you're still not playing for draws or anything. But you know that you might have to set up differently to different teams in order to give yourself the best possible chance of getting points out of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas League One, you can go to your I can't even think now. Like
Burton.
Yeah, you can go to Accrington away and still play the
Accrington,
same way because you know that's what formula is going to work for you, and you're going to go get that win. But in the Championship, it's a bit different.
Much more tactical then, you'd say.
It's ridiculous. I think it's physical as well. I think in terms of everyone's so much quicker. They are stronger because
they're not lumps. Players, aren't they?
Exactly. They're not lumps. So they're quick. They're strong. Tactically, they're so astute. But even just playing against them, you can learn a lot off them. Yeah.
Who would you say is the most challenging striker you've ever had to face? We can go through like even in the youth teams, if you remember one that always stuck out. All the way up until now.
I'm trying to think of just like one that no one would think of, but always scores against me.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this season, if you go off reputation, Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be Vardy.
But I'm trying to think who's caused loads of problems. I mean, Matty Taylor used to be a nightmare.
Yes.
He'd always score.
Brett Pittman, I remember.
I didn't manage to play. Colby Bishop was a handful.
Colby Bishop, yeah. Jorge Grant scored 2 against you that day.
Michael Smith was a handful. Played against him against Rotherham and Sheffield.
Because you've got the quicker players who can nip in behind, and then the more physically imposing players in the box. Yeah,
for me, it's the ones that are just causing havoc. They're the problem.
Yeah. Have you ever caught like an elbow or any of that?
I've got a lot. Yeah, I've got a cut on the back of my head from an elbow. I've got so many dead legs, cuts, bruises.
Jeez,
yeah. I've still got a scar up here from Big Verdane Oliver.
Oh
yeah, he came through like that, right with his studs up my leg. Yeah, it's horrendous.
I can imagine one player quite tough to play against. Not Dean Windass, Josh Windass.
Josh, he's difficult. He's quick, strong, and good technically. But yeah, there's a lot of players that are just difficult for goalies to deal with.
What's the toughest ground and fans that you've had to deal with? Portsmouth's got to be up there, surely.
I think that's up there. It is. It's not necessarily hostile, but it's just the noise. The noise is so drowning, like you can't actually talk.
So you've got
No
one
one
end
is,
behind
yeah.
the goals, obviously the away fans. The
Yeah.
other one's that massive stand where
I think it's an unbelievable ground.
it is. I love Fratton
So
Park.
good, so tight to the pitch. It's perfect.
Do you prefer those smaller grounds with a bit more character?
Yeah,
Maybe
like-
somewhere like Leicester or Southampton?
No, but I prefer your Fratton Parks, Ellen Road, Hillsborough. I think that's unreal.
Yeah, I love Hillsborough.
Classic ground. Ipswich, I love that. I just love the old classic grounds.
Yeah, so I'm the exact same here.
Yeah.
Like grounds that have a bit of character,
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely.
Like-
You can see the history in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to like you see like your Southamptons and your Leicesters, and they're nice grounds for what they are, but
They're nice,
kind
but
of like
they're boring.
they're the exact same with each other, aren't they? It's just one of them's
Yeah.
blue and one of them's
I
red.
haven't been there as a fan, it is just boring. Like,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the same everywhere. Yeah.
So how many grounds have you been to as a fan then? Obviously you've played
lot.
a hell of a lot now.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, literally probably just Wembley and just King Power. I mean, I can't really think of many more, to be fair. I haven't
I guess you
just played a lot.
didn't get to play at Wembley then, have you?
No,
No.
I never played. Just went.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you go when we were lost to Wimbledon as well in 2015, 2016?
No, I was on holiday.
Oh, okay.
I was on my school holidays.
Oh, fair. Yeah, that is fair
Or like
enough.
half-term holidays, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go, but I was
I'm
quite
assuming
good.
you were there with the squad, obviously.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable experience. I mean,
Yeah.
80,000.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Us
yeah.
and Bolton made it a big day. If you forget the 90 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I know, yeah. At least we went and won the league, though.
Yeah,
Made up
exactly,
for it.
yeah,
Made up
exactly.
for it.
What was the mood like? Were you in the changing room after the game?
Yeah, it was gutting, just purely because we just felt like we just let like the fans down.
Yeah.
Just like obviously there's something wrong with losing, but you can lose in the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the way we lost that day was so frustrating. When we just never got going.
No, exactly.
Didn't really
Yeah.
cause them much of a problem. But like I say, managed to get there and managed to win the league after that.
It's
which
still a
was
great achievement to get to Wembley.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And just have the mentality to keep going after that and win the rest of the games was unreal.
Yeah, so obviously, we had the Burton at home, the promotion game, which
Yeah.
was just unbelievable.
That was
where
unbelievable.
Obviously, you were up there.
Yeah, so good. I dreamt of that moment.
Yeah, was
forever.
there ever any doubt in your mind about joining the fans on the pitch? Did you ever think, I
No.
might get told off for this?
I think it was the first time I'd ran since I
Yeah.
had surgery.
You
I
got
was
the
trying to,
purple kit
hobble
on as well, yeah.
I was trying to hobble on.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, how have they managed to get him up there? His knee must be killing
I
him.
know, yeah. Well, I actually, before full time, I actually went back to the changing rooms
Oh, yeah.
just before, and I saw all the promotion flags. So I'd never seen the we are going up and all that in real life, and I was like, oh my god, it's actually happening. Like, we're actually
coming with me.
we're actually getting and then I remember as I was walking back to the changing room, I looked to my left and they had that header or something in like a few minutes to go, and I was like, oh my god, don't concede now because they've literally got all the stuff in there. And then full time. I was
Guys, you can't. They're
I was
ready for
literally-
you.
I was like, the fuck's are in there, just kill it like that. But yeah, managed to. We all got our kits on, and then as soon as the final whistle went, it was just bang straight.
Yeah.
Made a big
Straight
one.
on, yeah. I remember I've seen like the TikToks, obviously from your partner's point of view as well. It's like a whole family thing,
It
isn't
is.
it? Obviously, when a club gets promoted, it's not
Yeah.
just you,
Yeah.
but for everyone, it's an unbelievable day.
It's not even. Obviously, that's the iceberg. But what a lot of people don't see is how much it affects players when you lose. You're going home, and then your family, your missus get it just because you. It's hard to go home and just act like everything's normal because it means so much to you to win and do well for this football club. But so for those sort of days,
Yeah.
for them as well, it's a massive relief. It makes it all worthwhile for them. The time they spend at home without us.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the stress they've got to put up with.
A hell of a lot of long away trips from here,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yep.
And I can only imagine, because as a goalkeeper, you're judged off of the amount of goals you concede, of course.
Yeah.
So when you have those days, whereas as we've mentioned, the 6s and the 5s and the 4s, how do you get over that? Like, it must be like a mental thing, surely, just to convince yourself that's not me.
For me, like after those games, I just think, right, it's a game of footy.
Yeah.
It's 3 points gone. Like we got 0 points. Regardless of the goals, we've still lost the game, and then we've got another one. So just forget about it.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always managed to just bounce back from those heavy
One thing that's
defeats.
good with football, it comes thick and fast.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Exactly.
Especially when you're in the title race. I think last year when they lost 2-0 to Lincoln, obviously that's quite like it's a game you'd want to win.
Yeah.
And when you don't win, it's kind of like, is it hard sometimes, especially when you're in that kind of scenario, to keep going?
Yeah, I think so. I think because the fans were really frustrated that day. I remember. But I just remember going back in the change room, just letting them all know that that ain't happening again.
Yeah.
But everyone knew it wasn't going to happen again because we had that mentality in our squad that we're going to go and win the next game anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then we just rolled on, won the rest.
So it was a year ago today, the Callum Wright, wasn't it?
Shrewsbury?
Yeah. That was unbelievable. I remember watching that and just thinking, come on, please, like we needed that.
I was on holiday then at Tenerife.
Oh yeah.
Because I had an early holiday because of my knee.
Yeah.
And then once he scored that, and it was full time. I had a few beers, celebrated.
Quality, and then you touched on it before. Obviously, we came on air, but the Exeter games, they must be the pinnacle. And as you've said, because you've been in the club so long, you know how much it means.
Yeah.
How is it for you and like Rans, for example, and Nance, as the local people, to let people who may not know, like players, how much that actually means, those games?
I think it's really important, and us three definitely let everyone know how much it means to the club to win that game. Even someone like Joe, who'd been involved when we lost when we lost at their place.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been in for ages. He knows how much the fans want it.
It was 4-0 for years was all we had.
I was on the bench then as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
So for them, for us to go and then shut them up with the 6-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Do them twice, our place, their place.
Niall giving it some. Absolutely love that from him.
At home, it was unreal as well. We battered him.
Yeah,
loved every second of it.
That was quality.
I know, shut him right up.
that was another great game as well.
Yeah, that was my game of the season last year. It's got Halloween as well.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, because that was the first game I did with Argyle.
Hey, I tell you, he must be one who's Jay. He must be.
Matese?
No, Jay Stansfield. Must be terrible to play against, surely.
Yeah, he is. He is a bit annoying. But like, I think he's just gets on your nerves rather than like an actual.
Yeah. Well, he knows exactly how much it means, doesn't he? So he was right up for that day.
It's understandable from
his
point of
exactly.
view.
Yeah. He's a brilliant player. So wish him all the best. But
yeah,
those games, and then obviously, as we said, Exeter as well was so crucial last year. And it would have been, they would have absolutely, we never heard the end of it if they'd been the ones who had stopped us. So,
but we've got it over them now.
Exactly, so,
now they're in League One, so.
Yeah.
And then
Ipswich went and dumped them last game of the season.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Port Vale, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that, devastatingly. That's one of my big regrets from last year.
That was a good little celebration afterwards. lifting the trophy.
We were brilliant that day as well, weren't we?
We went a goal down.
Yeah.
And me and the other lads who weren't involved or injured were just looking at each other like, fucking, come on. And then bang, switch flipped, and we just battered them. And like the scenes at the end were just so good after every goal. The bus ride on the way back.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine that was good.
It felt, when I think about it, it feels like 10 minutes. It went so quick.
Yeah.
Because we were just non-stop, like.
That was the last game of the season as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like everybody's on it
so
then.
Good. But yeah, the memories we've got from that season will just last a lifetime.
It's quite a core group from last year have managed to remain as well, so that must be quite nice, not chopping and changing.
Especially with bringing Barley and Morgan back as well.
Yeah.
And when Finn came back as well.
Yeah. There's quite a few that moved on, but I think it'll be tough to get a team that will have that much chemistry again.
Yeah.
Normally you have I wouldn't say it's the same for this season. I think it's this season we still get all on pretty well because there is a core group. But normally I think a lot of teams will have the sort of you got mates with everyone and little different cliques, but everyone sort of gets on. But last year everyone got on with everyone. It was just so like such a unit.
It just all came together, didn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was.
First time in 13 years.
It just couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, I'd say as well, because obviously Argyle became kind of known for a little bit for the club where there'd be 13 in, 13 out in the summer, and it'd be like obviously this massive change. And even this year we've seen it's been quite consistent with the group. How is it like when the squad stays the same? Obviously the cohesion must be there, surely.
Yeah, you need it. You need your players that have been there for a while, who understand the club, who know the identity. Else, you have too many players come in and you haven't got that. Gel, have you? You need the relationships with your wing backs, your centre backs, your wingers, your midfielders. You need those common relationships. Else you just don't have that chemistry and it just falls apart.
So where's the chemistry most important with you? Is it with your centre backs, wing backs,
Definitely.
the defenders,
the
centre backs?
Yeah, I mean, just a little example. I mean, Scarzy, we played so many games together. Know each other's game inside and out, and it helps when you're on the pitch because you don't have to worry about what they're going to do because you know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I was going to say that with obviously Leicester game, Dan Scarr.
Yeah.
like
The interview at the end with Sky.
Yeah, that was
and then
good. Yeah.
running off towards the fans, celebrating. What was that moment like? Just like the two of you, obviously Dan's been out the team a bit, kind of come back in, had 3 man of the match performances, done really well. What was that like? Just you two being able to go over and celebrate with the Devonport end?
Yeah, it felt really special. Obviously having the performance we did, and Sky's had a few tough months, just being dropped straight away. Not sure why, but for him to then have the mental resilience, come back in, keep 2 clean sheets out of 3 and play the way he has is just testament to himself. So for him to have that moment is, he definitely deserved it and it was worth it.
So we mentioned the fans there. Your chant, of course, Michael Cooper is one of our own.
Yeah.
How did that feel when you heard that for the first time?
Yeah, really special. Never gets old, really. When you got the Devonport end singing that, it's always
you're always the first to clap the fans as well, win, lose or draw.
Yeah.
So obviously for you, you know how much it means. Clearly.
Yeah, you just can't ignore it. You can't. It's just, you can't take it for anything else than what it is. They are literally the heartbeat of the club. They are just so special. It's just simple as that. Yeah, it's just never get boring.
So we got now 3 massive games until the end of the season.
Yep.
You'd say 3 cup finals, obviously the old cliche.
Stoke obviously up next.
Yeah. Is there any type of, like, you want to try and get one over there at Stoke? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not a case
malicious,
of it's not malicious. It's not anything like that. It's just a case of you want to beat who was here before and who left us, and we want to beat them and get mathematically safe and then just. Sort of have a little breather not breather for the last 2 games, but take the stress away, which would be nice, on top of getting one up on them.
Yeah, because obviously you already went away to Preston earlier this year, with Shuey and Lowy obviously facing each other for the first time again, and then played them at home again recently. Yeah. Did you catch up with Ryan at all when he was back? Or?
Just said hello, had a little chat with him. Nothing too much. I think they had to get off. Obviously they got a long trip. But no, he seems the same. Low. He seems really good.
He's the one who gave you the chance.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got a lot of gratitude towards him. The chances he gave me and the faith he showed in me when I was young.
Yeah, and then Millwall. Have you ever been to Millwall away before?
No, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the den. Excited for the atmosphere.
That's going to be a hostile one, I'm sure, behind the goal.
Trust me, those Peninsula games I used to play, if you're not aware, they were literally like step 9, Cornwall, Devon. They were like blokes behind the goals, and you can hear every single word they say. So
I do a lot of work with Tavi Football Club. So obviously I've been going away with them to random grounds, and
I'm sure nothing's worse than that.
The keepers hear every word that you say.
There's nothing worse when you can just hear them just non-stop at it all game.
Shit, keeper.
They got nothing else to say. So
does that ever? If you hear somebody shout at you the wrong way?
It probably did when I was 16, 17, but you just get used to it. I just don't hear it anymore. You see goalkeepers sort of getting involved and maybe giving a bit
back. Ramsdale.
Yeah, but it's not me.
Emmy Martinez.
For me, I don't get it, because then if you just go and concede a few goals, it's just
exactly.
And then they stop when you ignore them as well. So.
Have you ever had any experience with like trolls on Twitter or anything like that?
Not really. I've been fortunate with that. I'm not on socials all the time, anyways, so I don't see a lot of it. But if I ever did, I'd probably just log out.
Is it water off your back in a way? I guess.
But just because it's just like the only opinion that matters is yourself, your families, and your coaches. Obviously, the fans can voice their opinion, have their opinions, obviously. But as a player, you've just got to focus on who's important to you.
And obviously, at the moment, there was a lot said about obviously everything that was going on. Did any of that ever seep into the dressing room at all, or was it all just keep it contained?
It was. We just tried sort of keeping it as outside noise and just trying to just stay together as a team as much as possible and just try and forget about everything that was going on, and just focus on the next game and just focus on winning.
And then obviously Hull as well to
last
come.
Game of the
Final
season.
home game of the season.
Yeah. Hopefully we're safe by then and we can just have a good game with them. But it'll be a nice way to send off the fans for the season. Hopefully we'd have retained our championship status by then. If not, it'll be a hell of a fight and a hell of a fight for the last game.
Is it quite nice as a footballer to end the season at a home game? Because obviously they do the lap of honour, going around, clapping the fans.
I mean, even last year, I would have easily have swapped the games around, so I would have happily have got promoted away, but then won the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would have been loads better. But I've finished games away before, and it's not special. Like when you're at home in that last game and you got everyone there and clapping, it is brilliant.
I can remember a few. Obviously, we went away to Grimsby when we got promoted all those years ago. Gillingham away to end the season.
Did Gillingham away, COVID as well.
There was the COVID one was Gillingham as well, wasn't it? And then obviously the MK Dons one, as we've already mentioned. There's been some crazy ends to the season. So I guess
even the MK Dons one. I know the result didn't go away, but to still have your families walking around the pitch and it's special.
Appreciated
exactly
the fact that we had finished, because nobody had ever put us up there at the start.
No, I don't think they would, especially the way kind of the second half of the season before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of the crowd stayed and clapped us off.
Yeah.
Again, it's just testament to them, because they just knew how hard we tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping 18 clean sheets, like obviously as a goalkeeper, clean sheets is that almost like scoring a goal in a way?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, I've had this argument with a few of the lads before, but keeping a clean sheet is, I think, 5 times harder than scoring a goal, because you can get a hat-trick in a game, but you can only get 1 clean sheet in a game.
Yeah.
And you could just concede a goal just through a worldie or someone scoring an own goal. Yeah. And it's just got nothing to do with you. But like, you can go and get 3 hat-tricks in a row.
Taking a penalty as opposed to trying to save it.
Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, there's so much to go against you for keeping clean sheets. But it's special when you get them, because it's such a good feeling having not picked the ball out, pick the ball out the net, and you haven't lost. So yeah. So
last year we saw some penalty heroics from Cow against Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Do you have your own penalty set up there? Like, did you know about what he was doing, obviously with the bottle and everything?
Yeah, I think every goalie has some sort of way of remembering the reshots they've done on the penalty takers, because you have to these days. There's so much information out there, so you have to use it. But yeah, me and Cal both have the same bottle. So yeah.
Nice, yeah. So we've actually got a segment here. We do a deep dive on your Instagram to get you to do a bit of context on the. There's nothing bad on there.
Well, luckily I've deleted a lot of posts before.
Have you?
So, yeah.
You've got 58 posts.
Yeah.
We'll start off your first ever post.
Yeah.
So this is from March the 13th, 2015. What's going on there? Is that rugby?
Yeah, that's me and my best mate when we were about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Just playing before a rugby match. Yeah. Just, I don't know why I posted it for my first post back then, like 10 years ago, but yeah.
And then of course we got the lads, May the 8th, 2017. Yep. As we've already mentioned, quite a few of those guys have gone on to great things really in football, whether it's been at a high level or not.
Yeah.
We've got people such as, obviously we mentioned Alex Battle and Fletcher, both still playing.
Luke Jeffcott.
Yeah, Jeff
Jordan Bentley in there.
Yeah, Bentley. Is that Ryan Law as well?
Yeah.
So what was that group of lads? What was the context for that?
Yeah, that was unreal. That was after we got promoted from League 2, and they did the open top buses.
Oh yeah, I remember
we were on one behind the first team.
Oh yeah.
So that was why we were on the bus.
I actually got pictures from that day. You can stick them in here as well.
I was.
We've got a picture of you on the bus from all that time ago. Obviously we've already mentioned the debut.
Yeah.
With that famous grey and pink kit.
Yeah, I need to get that picture framed or something, because I've never actually.
Do you not? Really? Yeah. I'm sure people probably have that picture in their homes.
They probably do, and I don't. So, yeah.
Which is mad. And then the first professional contract.
Yeah, I love Mingen in that as well.
Do you know who's in the photo with you there?
Yeah, that's Zach Newton and Martin Starnes.
Oh, nice.
Zach Newton still works at the club.
Yeah, Zach's still there. I've seen him a couple of times.
Doesn't anymore, but yeah, that was obviously a very proud day for me. Yeah, very special.
So you've got another group photo there.
Yeah.
Really old one. Who's there front and centre with you?
I think it was just the sponsor of the trophy.
Oh, okay.
That was Apprentice of the Year. Managed to get that.
There you go with the We Are Argyle shirts.
Yeah, that was second to last game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, May the 11th. So it must have been. Yeah, because I think.
Wait, was it? I know it was towards the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was the debut season. Yeah.
So that brings me on nicely. Obviously, we've got the pictures of you here with the lads.
Yeah.
Who would you say your best mate in football is?
What, currently or just?
Well, we can do either. We'll do both.
It's a tough one. I've got quite a few, to be honest.
Don't want to leave anyone out.
Yeah. So I've got Cam Sangster and Harry Hodges, who I still see quite a lot.
Yeah.
Go on holiday with them, and a wedding and all sorts. Currently, I spend a lot of time with Rands. Spend a lot of time with Rye. Obviously, get on really well with Joe. been here for ages.
Yeah.
Cal, you know, pretty much everyone, to be fair. But I wouldn't say I really have like that main best mate.
There's not one. You don't want to leave anyone out.
I'm that sort of guy. I just sort of get along with everyone. Yeah.
Obviously, Cam now he's doing the boots, isn't he?
Yeah,
personal training.
Yeah, he's just started up his own running club.
Yeah.
Doing a clothing brand as well. So he's doing really well. Yeah, everyone that has gone on their own path has been really successful. Jeff's is still in the game.
Yeah.
Still speak to him. Saw him the other week. So yeah, everyone's doing well in their own little paths.
Yeah.
You said about Adam and Ryan there. I understand you guys would like to play darts. Who would you say is the best out of you three?
Rans is now the best.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
But at the start, it was even for quite a while.
Yeah.
But he's just started to. But he does that though. Like when we played snooker, it was even at the start, and now he just got better. Yeah. Darts, he's the best.
Is he like the most competitive?
Yeah, I'd say so as well. Yeah, he loves winning in that. But yeah, he's had to start with a handicap on starts now.
Oh really? Yeah. Is it 501, 301?
301, but he has to start on 351.
Oh really?
Still wins.
Yeah. Do you watch much darts or?
Yeah, it's on tonight, Premier League.
Yeah. Oh, you a big darts fan?
Yeah,
Did you go up to Exeter?
No, we didn't. We had a game on the Saturday and it was a Thursday, and we was just like not going to be able to enjoy it as much.
No.
And when we do go, we want to be able to enjoy it proper.
That brings me on nicely though. The team photo at Christmas.
Yeah.
That was when you went to the darts, wasn't it? Up at the.
No, we didn't go to the darts.
Did you not go to the darts?
I don't know how that.
I don't know why.
Yeah, we
just fancy dress.
Pretty much, it was. Yeah, everyone does it on the Christmas do on the Sunday.
That was unbelievable.
I just remember seeing it on like Instagram. So I was like, who's that in it? It was like Barley in like a space suit or something.
My favourite one was Dan in the flight attendant, the leggings.
Was it Jordan Houghton in them dressed up as Velma?
Oh yeah.
I think Wayne's was the best. He went as Cal the driver.
Oh
yeah, that was funny.
It was so funny.
The idea that TikTok culture that obviously we see.
Yeah.
Is that like in the dressing room? Like do you share TikToks?
I don't have TikTok, but I think there's obviously a lot of younger lads and they.
Wayno as Cal the driver.
So
funny.
They nailed it, to be fair.
Yeah, it was spot on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good costume.
I'll stick that photo in for sure.
Yeah, please do. So then, end of this season then is coming up to the end of the year. How do you decompress over the summer?
Just holidays, chill out, golf, being a bit more relaxed with my diet. So just eating a bit more what I want. Have a little refresh, have a few drinks. Just sort of have a mental and physical refresh. Because you need it, else you're just going to, burn out and just kill yourself basically just through your mind. But yeah, I think just a lot of golf and holidays. That's how I do it.
Last year it must have been nice because obviously after we got promoted against Burton, the lads went down to the Barbican.
Yeah. We went off to Vegas as well as a group.
Yeah.
Celebrated. It was unreal. Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, that's.
Yeah, you'll catch me on the Barbican for the first few weeks a little bit.
Oh yeah. How is it when fans come up to you when it's not like a game week? How does it feel like to be recognised obviously so regularly? Obviously to begin with it must have been quite strange, but now obviously I'm sure you're used to it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I always get good lads come up to me and just like say what's up and have a good chat. So like I don't mind it one bit, to be fair. My missus doesn't mind it. It's quite funny when you're not out and everyone starts talking about the footy. No, it's good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever had it where somebody's asked your missus to take a picture of you with them?
Probably.
Yeah. So
probably has.
That's always one of those where I find like that's really awkward. Like you're like you see a footballer in public and you ask their partner to take this.
Yeah, she definitely has.
Yeah. So how's it been? Obviously, because she's been with you really for the whole journey, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we first met when I was first year pro, so I only played the 2 games. So she's seen me grow and play more football, and the injuries I've had. She's been through it with me.
That must be good to have someone by your side.
Yeah, you need it. She helped me massively through that. So did the dogs. Got 2 dogs. So they helped as well. But
we haven't got that far up on the Instagram.
So she's been brilliant. And, we're engaged now. Been together almost 6 years. So
So that the response to that was amazing. Obviously, you put the post out and just inundated with congratulations.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
And then, we've got the picture of you two there, obviously at the awards ceremony.
Yeah, that was my first awards night there. that was special. Obviously, didn't think I'd be going there anytime soon. So to be at the EFL Awards at, I think I was 22 it was pretty special.
Yeah, and again last year.
Yeah, and that was the second one.
Repeating it.
Really enjoyed the second one because Barley was there.
Oh yeah.
Shuey was there. They're both collecting awards. Neil Juicent was there.
Were you there on your own the time?
No,
before,
we're all on
then?
the same.
No.
Oh yeah. So
time before, sorry.
So every club gets a table, but the time before there wasn't. I think it was myself, Mrs. and like a few of the community people.
Okay.
But then to have Shuey, Barley, their partners there, Ellen, Neil Juicent, it was brilliant. It was such a good night.
Well, it was just such a brilliant seasonal.
Yeah,
round,
it was.
So
Yeah.
Can't really doubt that one. Yeah, well, I think
that's.
I think we've covered everything. Really.
Yeah, I covered a lot.
Wait, the other thing I was going to say, this isn't your first podcast, is it?
No.
Mark Howard.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
he was a top guy. He asked me to go on towards the end of the season. I was just like, yeah, go on, mate. Yeah, definitely won't say no to that. Got a train to London, and yeah, it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, how do you find stuff like this? Obviously, you've done quite a lot of the media stuff at the club as well.
Yeah, see, I don't mind it, to be fair. I like podcasts. It's nice and relaxed. It's not as much of an interview. But I think it's something I'd probably look into once my playing career's done.
Yeah.
Quite like the thought of. Hopefully I rack up a good enough career. I can get myself on like Soccer
like
Saturday.
Ben Foster.
Yeah, Soccer Saturday.
You got to try and get yourself on Foscast. That's the one.
Go around the grounds of Soccer Saturday. Pull the scores out. I'd love that.
That'd be great. Yeah, I can imagine you do.
Yeah.
Being a goalie pundit, I'd love that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Cheers for having me.
It's been brilliant. Yeah, obviously this has been amazing for me. I've been able to just chat to someone who I've watched their entire career play out. So it's crazy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, lads. I appreciate it.